Grand Theft Auto. Ever since the release of GTA 3, Rockstar has continued to improve on its award-winning franchise. And this time in the bonus round, we look at what keeps GTA on top. What is that special GTA magic?
I think GTA may be the best feel and vibe game of all time.
And why have other publishers had difficulty making GTA clones?
I don't know. Why does Star Wars work and Starship Troopers was a joke?
That's next in the show that deserves its own GTA radio station, the bonus round. Hey, welcome back to the bonus round, talking all about the Grand Theft Auto series from Rockstar. And to do that, we've got Michael Pachter from Wedbush Morgan Securities, Pete Winnott from NBC Universal, and Chris Morrill from GamePro. So let's talk about the magic.
So as Pete was saying.
Okay. As you were saying, Pachter, we're trying to talk about the magic of GTA here. What is it about this franchise? I mean, why is it so revered? You said you can't put your finger on it, but Pete, can you explain to us what's so special about GTA?
Yeah, I think one of the big reasons is that they let you do everything. Like, right. We talked about it before, but if you can think about doing it and you're a game player, you're like, oh, I'd love to be able to do that in GTA, you usually can. And the other thing that they have, and this feel and vibe game of all time. That series, just every time these guys nail it. Whether it was Miami in the '80s, although they ripped off Scarface a lot, or San Andreas,
the movie, not the game, right?
and or GTA 3 even. Like, they have such a great way of capturing a time and place, and I think they'll do it for New York, in the modern day.
Right, Chris. I mean, do you agree? How much of it is story and vibe and tone versus gameplay?
I think the gritty stories that they've had in the past, really, they add to it, but I think it's really the gameplay. I mean, a good example is my roommate and I in college, we got GTA 3 and we would just mess around in it, but in Portland, in the first city, there's a subway. It's like the rail that's actually above ground. We spent probably 3 hours launching a car off a ramp, timing it just right, because we knew the subway would come like every minute or so. And it's like that kind of experience that you get. And then you get like, you get to control RC cars in the game. It's like when you get to those missions, like, oh my God, I've never done this in a game before.
So that emergent gameplay, the idea that it's a sandbox, you can do whatever you want inside of this world.
It lives, and I come back to that again. It's just like it feels like a living world, and really yet no one's been able to recreate that city vibe where people walk around, it's populated, there's a lot of buildings, there's boats go by, all this stuff kind of adds together, and you can really do whatever you want. You don't even have to play a mission in the game, you can play it for hours.
So, Michael, why have none of these other publishers been able to, crack that nut and duplicate it? Because everyone's tried, right?
I actually think, just to add to what these guys said, I think GTA has elements of some real classic games that no one ever talks about, like Pokemon.
Right.
Like one of the things I did in all three of the GTAs was went on a goodie search, and I decided I was going to find every hidden package. And after about 10 hours, and I had 60 of them, I went, this isn't worth it. I'm never going to get there. But that's Pokemon. Yeah. You're finding all like the little hidden critters, and I thought when I first saw that, I went, how clever. I at first thought GTA was a shooter game, of course, until the ESRB or MPD called it combat racing. To me, well, I mean, Twisted Metal is combat racing.
Right.
This is not Twisted Metal. And I'm looking at the game and I'm going, what is this game?
But it's hard to put it in one little box.
Right. It's
so
everything.
Exactly.
And so, we keep calling that sandbox, but it's everything. There's everything you want in a game. There is a story. There is a little tiny bit of role playing. There's certainly shooting. There's strategy, there's adventure, there's driving, there's Pokemon, but in its own way, it is like Pokemon.
So why have none of these other publishers been able to take that, distill it down, reverse engineer it, and say, here's our game?
Because I think that's like saying, why were Godfather 1 and Godfather 2 Best Picture, and what is the secret sauce? Why can't some other director make a crime drama? And Scarface actually was right after both Godfathers, and nothing. I mean, it didn't do really great in the box office. We all think it's a classic. Why? What did Coppola do? I don't know. Why does Star Wars work and Starship Troopers was a joke? What is it? And when you see Yoda the first time, it's like, He looks like a bug to me. I don't know what he is. Now, I'm saying that, what is the secret? Why did Titanic work?
Right.
Which is a classically dopey movie, but it worked.
Yeah.
Why is that? I don't know. These guys are like...
So is it really the Housers? I mean,
Yeah,
Sam down.
yeah.
I mean, they just got. They have their.
They have the
pulse
cast,
of the
they
gamer.
have the writer, they
Yeah.
have the director, they have the cinematographer. When you put together that team,
Yeah.
they have everything that makes a Best Picture, and you never really quite understand why that
Right.
movie is a Best Picture, but it is.
Well, Pete, I mean, you worked on Scarface, which in many ways I think was, we can say was inspired by Grand Theft Auto, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's an open world game. So.
Yeah, so I mean, when you guys obviously probably tried to reverse engineer a little bit of like what was so great about Grand Theft Auto, how could you put that into a Scarface game?
Yeah, and I
Can
think
you
it's
put your
about
finger on it?
making the best open world game. And I think if you look at I think if there's any other developer, that can compete with sort of what GTA is doing, I think you'll see Radical. The games that come out from Radical, I think
Prototype's coming
Prototype
out.
is,
People excited about
looks
it.
amazing,
Yeah.
and I think it captures the city feel and vibe really, really well. I think the fact that you'll see, Radical come out with some open world games, I think they'll start to push on GTA a little bit. But even when GTA is so good that even when they do things like in GTA 3 or Vice City, where the targeting shooting mechanic is awful.
Right.
I mean, it's
You'll forgive them
it's-
for that.
Yeah, but people ignore it.
Yeah.
Even the press ignores it. It's like they just forget the fact that it was painful to try to target someone in the first couple games, and I think it sounds like they've fixed that now for these, and
Yeah.
it was much better in San Andreas. But even when there's a massive fault in the game, people just ignore it because of all that other, you call it the secret sauce. So yeah, I mean, that
Chris,
helps.
any other thoughts on what you think that secret sauce is?
I think they just have the talent, like you're saying. It's just it's an amazing team. Whether they have pixie dust in there or something, they've got it right. And I think if you're gonna try to recreate something that's like the Grand Theft Auto experience, you got to give it your own twist, like Crackdown did, or like you're saying, like Prototype.
You said talent, but I think another huge part of it is anybody who's worked on games will know is that a big part of that is they get unlimited time and pretty much unlimited budget. If they say, if the Housers come and say, guess what, GTA's not coming out for another 8 months. Oh wait, they already did that one for this one. But if they do that, they have unlimited time and unlimited budget.
Right.
And whenever you have that sort of sacred cow developer, whether it's Blizzard or
They've earned the right.
yeah,
to be able to
absolutely.
say,
They get the
"Wait."
right to say, screw you, we're not coming out until we're ready.
But it is coming out at the end of April, we think, right?
I don't know. There's conspiracy theories now saying it's going to be delayed again, so we'll see.
You never know. We'll see what the SRB says. You think it's coming out April?
I think that it will be done and will be street ready, but I think that if EA takes over Take-Two, they have an economic incentive to delay it. And if the Housers feel that there's 2% more improvement they can make
Right.
with an extra few months, why not? I mean,
Do you think the Housers are being pressured to get it out at the end of April by Take-Two?
yeah, well, Take-Two financially has to get that game out. They don't have
Right.
they don't have any wiggle room. They are going to be pretty much tapped out on their credit line and their cash position. So they
Right.
need the money. They need to get it out, and they've got contractual obligations. I mean, Microsoft's paid up $50 million
Right.
for this downloadable content.
So
it's
is
gotta
EA truly then a white knight that could come in and sort of save this game and give them more time?
Well, if it needs it. I
Right.
mean, if the game is done and the Housers say, you know what, we've done everything we can. I mean,
Yeah.
do you watch Entourage?
Yeah.
The director on Entourage is the Housers. It's like, walking around with their game. I mean, no, he's a genius,
Yeah.
and everybody in the show acknowledges he's great, but give him more time to edit his film a little bit more and he'll
Yeah.
take it. And I can't imagine, I mean, you're a developer. Would you take more time if they gave it to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you look at games, but they're never finished. There's
Right,
always
right.
something more you
Especially
can
a
do.
game this big.
And
Yeah.
this game sort of sets the precedent for saying, you know what, we have 10 more things we want to add for this
Right.
game, not for the sequel.
Right.
I mean, you talked about San Andreas being almost too big of an experience. It's like they keep packing it in. It's GTA is a great value. I mean, there's so much game there.
All right, well, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about GTA 4 and also what we can expect from the future of Grand Theft Auto and Rockstar.
Next time, our chat about GTA concludes, but not before our panelists put it all on the line. What's their favorite GTA so far?
San Andreas, I loved it. It did a little bit too much.
And how will the planned downloadable content affect Grand Theft Auto 5?
They already have a story in mind. I think GTA 5 is already kind of in the planning stage.
Those answers next time, right here in the bonus round.
Bonus round.